Hello everybody. I know it has been a hot minute since I have filmed, but some things happened in my personal life and I just needed to take a break. But I am back, and I am back with a deep dive into Scentsy. Now, I haven't really heard, like, obviously the cringy posts we've heard of and like all that stuff, but I haven't really seen anybody go in deep on this company. And I was interested to see kind of what all that was about. So I am sorry, I'm filming in my bedroom today and I kind of have like my camera jury rigged, so I'm sorry if like the top of my head is cut off or anything like that, but we are doing the best we can with what we have because my office needs help. So with all of that, I'm just going to go ahead and jump into it. I'm sorry if I look down. I have my outline here on my laptop. So, the founders of Scentsy are Heidi and Orville Thompson. They are members of the LDS Church. They are Mormon. What I found really interesting was they founded Scentsy, like they bought it from the two people that originally started it, while they were $700,000 in debt. I'm sorry, but who starts a business when they're over $500,000 in debt? And where did they get the money to buy this business and turn it into a multi-level marketing scam? So currently they are on mission. It didn't say on their website where they were on mission, but so they are not currently running like the day-to-day of the company. Their president is doing that. One thing that I found that was pretty interesting was that Orville has never worked for someone else for more than 6 consecutive months. Like, he was saying this like as a flex, like I have an entrepreneurial spirit. Did I say that right? I don't know. But like, to me that says you're unemployable. If you have never been able to work for somebody else, that means that you're unable to take direction and you're unable to be part of a team. Anyway, so as most of you know, Scentsy, they sell wax warmers and wax melts. It's wickless candles. That is what their company was founded on. But now they also have like a kids line, a pet line. They have like scented laundry stuff, and they also sell essential oils and diffusers. So the warmers range between $25 to $65. Usually like the $25 ones were the ones that you plug into a wall, and obviously like the bigger tabletop ones are more expensive. The wax bars are $6 each, like the normal ones. The special collections are sometimes higher. They do have special collections. They are in collaboration with Disney, Harry Potter, and that hurts my heart so much, Star Wars, and Marvel. And so the starter kits are normally like $65, but for the month of March it's only $25. So this month is a really huge recruiting month for them. So, and I will insert a picture somewhere of kind of what the starter kit includes. So we are going to go ahead and we are going to jump into the compensation plan. I'll put a picture of it up here. I'll also link it down below. So if you guys want to go take a look at it yourselves, you guys can go ahead and do that. What is nice about Scentsy is you do not need to recruit anybody for the first 2 ranks. However, to rank up to their second rank, you do need to have 1,000 PV. And they say something like, once you earn 1,000 PV, like you're qualified for life. And so to rank up after that, you must recruit and sell or spend 500 PV, because as we know in MLMs, like when you input an order, there's no way to differentiate whether that is a retail sale or a personal purchase. So it can really be either one. And for like their commission structure, you earn like 25% commission on sales, like your personal sales, and then 2 to 7% based upon your rank off of the sales of your downline, which clearly it puts an emphasis on recruiting because you can't get that 2 to 7% commission unless you have a downline. Like that income does not exist without a downline. It does seem to be a little less of an emphasis than we see in other companies, but there is, I'm going to put up this chart here. It's like what you could make. So if you sell like $200, you can make 40, all the way up to, you could be making like $160, like if you made an $800 sale. So it just doesn't seem to be like a viable thing, because who needs $800 worth every month of Scentsy? Like nobody needs that. So it does very much encourage like inventory loading and things like that. We're going to go ahead and we're going to jump also into the income disclosure. Now this is broken up into 2 groups and it is pretty deceptive. So group number 1 are people who joined in the year of 2020 and stayed in for 12 months. The second group joined in 2020 and did not stay in for the whole year. So this does not look at the whole company. This is just looking at those that enrolled in 2020. So we can see that the number of consultants that stayed in were about 57,000. The minimum commissions that they made for that entire year was $121. The most somebody made was $1.2 million. The average was about $2,900. But the median, and that's the number that we like to look at, it's when you line up all of the incomes and you count them, and it's the one that is directly in the middle. So it's a more accurate representation of what the average consultant made in a year, was about $869. Now that was for people who stayed in for all 12 months. So when we look at group 2, these are the ones that did not stay in for the entire year. So there was 135,629 consultants that did not stay in for the whole year. The minimum annual commissions there was 0. The maximum was $34,000, about $35,000. The average was $452. And the median, which is the most accurate, was about $203. Now they do, they provide this little disclaimer. It's my favorite thing. Love it. I'm just going to read the whole thing. Scentsy consultants earn between 20 and 36% commissions and bonuses on personal sales and may be eligible for leadership bonuses based upon their team sales. The chart below shows how independent Scentsy consultants in the United States performed. On average in 2020. As with any business endeavor, a consultant's success will be the direct result of time and effort they devote to selling the product and building a team. The earnings below represent commissions that Scentsy actually paid to consultants in 2020. Now, this does not include your expenses. This doesn't include sales, like promotional items like the brochures and things like that. This doesn't include if you did a craft fair, if you rented a booth. It does not include any business expenses. This is just the money that Scentsy corporate paid out to consultants. It is not what they actually earned. And on top of that, this does not include the taxes that they had to pay as 1099 employees. So it's not very accurate. I could always go back and do calculations just based upon expenses. It's really difficult to calculate 1099 taxes. If anybody knows how to do that, hit me up because I have questions. So one other thing that I found really, really, really interesting is I found Scentsy's code of conduct. Now I'm assuming that this is like for Scentsy corporate, not for their distributors, and that will become apparent here in just a moment. So the first thing that, and I'll put the highlighted portion here, there shall not be any use of forced labor, including prison labor, indentured labor, bonded labor, or any forms of forced labor. I'm like, okay, so I asked my husband, because he's worked for several companies and he works in HR and things like that. So I asked him, I was like, have you ever seen like that you can't use prison labor in like a company's code of conduct? And he's like, yeah, no. So I'm like, who the F tried that where they had to put that in there? Who tried to use, so, where was I? I don't think, so I was going into the second part of this code of conduct that was pretty interesting. It says every worker has a right to compensation for a regular work week that is sufficient to meet the worker's basic needs and provide discretionary income. So this is for their warehouse employees, I'm assuming, corporate employees, things like that. But it is in direct juxtaposition of how much they pay out to Scentsy consultants. So I did some calculations and I will put the post on my Instagram and I will link that down below also if you want to check it out, of how much a Scentsy worker, a Scentsy distributor that stayed for the entire 12 months of 2020, on average, they made 42 cents an hour. So they're saying here that every worker has the right to compensation, but they're paying out 42 cents an hour for free marketing and advertising. It just seems a little unethical and a little bit of, what's the word? I can't think of the word. My brain. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. I had never seen anything like that before. What was interesting too is, so Scentsy has not been sued, like for being a pyramid scheme or anything like that. They have been involved in 2 lawsuits that I could find. The first one was Scentsy sued a manufacturing company. They had, from my understanding, they had asked them to create like a warmer for them. They then sold the design to a company that also made wax warmers and they sold them in Walmart. Scentsy sued them for like breach of contract and stuff like that, and they ended up winning. So I will link that case down below as well. They also sued a distributor. So what this distributor was doing, she alleged it was with Scentsy's permission and consent, is she was melting down like the larger wax bars into smaller packages to give to customers as samples. And it said that she was violating the Lanham Act and this was not with her consent, and they were requesting an injunction, and that was granted as well. So we're gonna get into the juicy stuff here, which is the stuff I found in the Better Business Bureau. So they had like a 2.5 out of 5 stars, like not great. I think Monet's is better. So I'm just going to read this to you. It says, I made a purchase on October 16th from a Scentsy consultant who is employed with them. Only the consultant's wife was the one I communicated with to make the purchases. She does the lives, corresponds with customers. I later found out after I made the purchase that the woman is a offender. So I blocked her from the group where I made the purchase and was appalled that Scentsy would employ someone like this since they're against crimes. When the lady that sold me the merchandise realized I had blocked her, she used my personal information that should have been only used when I made the transaction to then start sending me harassing emails. I made 3 calls to their customer service, spoke to a supervisor. From the beginning, he defended them, didn't seem to care. I handed over every email that I was being harassed through, as well as other documentation. Again, he didn't care. As a mother with a small minor child, I am beyond reproach that Scentsy has a child offender who sells from them, and not only that, stole my personal information and used it to harass me, and nothing was done. I had to make a report to the state police, and I am consulting with an attorney if something isn't done. So basically from that, Scentsy just said, we're looking into it, but remember, Scentsy distributors are 1099 employees, so we are not responsible for what they do. So that you can see this over and over and over, that this is their response. They are 1099 employee, they're independent contractors, whatever. We are not responsible for what they do. We are not responsible for their unethical behavior. And you can see this over and over and over again. And this is why I'm going to tie this back into a much bigger thing, which is why the Direct Sales Association is fighting to keep independent contractor status with their distributors so that the companies cannot be liable for what distributors do. If that changes, then my belief is that the whole industry would go down real fast because they would be accountable for the non-compliance of their distributors. Sorry to go off on a rant, but oh. Okay, so here is another one. I purchased a product from an employee of this company and never got my product. The product total was almost $100, and the company is telling me that they are looking into it, but they're also saying that because this person is an ex-employee, that there might be no way for me to get my money back. I have solid proof of all of this in screenshots. Scentsy's response was, the customer states that the consultant he purchased from is or was not a consultant at the time of purchase. Please note that Scentsy's consultants are not employees of Scentsy. They are independent consultants, contractors who run their own business. And she is no longer a consultant. The customer will need to contact his local police department to pursue this issue. So even if they were a current independent contractor, I'm tripping over my words today. Scentsy's pretty much like, nothing we can do. They run their own business. If they want to run it like an unethical scumbag, that's their choice. So I would like to close all of this by discussing whether or not this is a good business opportunity. My personal opinion is no. There is still a emphasis upon recruitment. You have to pay to join, even if it's less this month. The month of March 2022, it is still, you still have to pay to join. There is not a lot of people make money. 42 cents an hour. Like, are you kidding me? You're worth more. You should think you're worth more. And I don't think that this is a viable business opportunity. Not only is the company, I believe, is run unethically. Not only the company, the distributors, this is not a good business opportunity. So with that, I would like to close and say, if you are in Scentsy and this is the first time that you're seeing any of this information, you are not stupid. You're not. You were deceived. You were preyed upon when you were vulnerable. And just remember that you are worth more. And if you need anybody to talk to, go follow me on my Instagram or even just direct message me on Instagram. And I would really love to talk with you. You are worthy of being paid adequately for your time. And you're worth more than this. I believe that. And I need you to believe that. All right. And have a great day, guys.